Hey everyone, welcome to the Go Big with Leanne show. And tonight is a very special occasion. And I really believe in empowerment through connection. So my whole intention with the show is just to bring on lots of interesting, amazing folks to the show. And tonight we have Connie all the way from Tucson, Arizona, because I reside in Wichita, Kansas. And so, but my best friend lives in Tucson. And a friend of mine introduced me to Connie, and then I just read a little bit about on her website. And she is a singer, songwriter, band leader, also served in the military like myself. So I was like, I have to have her on the show. And I've had the pleasure of checking out her music over the last month. Because of Facebook, we're in interesting times. So Connie's had to kind of, do things differently. But because of that, I was able to get exposed to her music without traveling to Tucson. So, hey, Connie, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have been in Tucson since, 1994, and then I was transferred to Phoenix. So I've been in the desert a long time now, but I did grow up on the eastern shore of Maryland, which was beautiful, wet, flat, completely different than here. And it was a lovely place to grow up. Yeah, that's me. And I've had several different careers, as we had a chance to talk earlier when we were setting up. I went from being a musician in my younger years, I was a professional musician, to getting fed up and going through basic training. I started 19 days shy of my 35th birthday, and then actually put an entire career behind me in the military. And I've been a school teacher, which I've enjoyed. And now I'm playing music again for all the right reasons, just to extend joy through music. That's my mission statement. So that's awesome. Me in a nutshell.
Yeah. And, so Connie joined the military at 35. I joined the military when I was 17, and mostly because I hated high school. And my parents said, well, you need to do something productive with your life. So I served 21 years in the Kansas Air Guard, and Connie served 21, I think. So we have that in common. And I love on her website, it says that connecting is a gift. And so I love that she posts that, because we all have our gifts that we need to share with each other, and creates the rhythm of life. And that's just so beautiful. And some of the music that I grew up on, I'm going to see if Connie knows any of these, because I grew up in a very traditional, my dad was from the South. He loved his country music. So Tom T. Hall, Sneaky Snake was one of my favorite songs as a kid. It was a storytelling song. I think I loved anybody that was kind of a storyteller. Eddie Arnold, his music was kind of depressing, but I just would play Eddie Arnold over and over and over and over again. Glenn Campbell. And my first concert was Charlie Pride. So I went to a Charlie Pride concert, I think when I was like 9 or 10. So, music for me growing up was a very safe place for me to experience my emotions. Our household was my dad was in the military. So our household was, very much get her done kind of attitude, straight and narrow, just behave yourself. Emotions weren't necessarily a bad thing, but they weren't really encouraged to be expressed. So for me, music was always that place where I could go in my bedroom, put the record on back when we had the vinyls, and just let whatever emotion that was coming up, flow through me. And I have no music ability, but I love listening to music. So was there a moment in time that you knew that music was in your soul and that it was a gift to give to the world?
I can't really pinpoint one moment. I do remember that that in the fourth grade, my father had an old accordion upstairs, and so I had a kind of a knack for being able to get something out of it. So I dressed up as in Yankee Doodle Dandy and my homemade top hat, and I played Yankee Doodle Dandy and sang it with the accordion. So that was that was my debut as Yankee Doodle Dandy. And my first instrument was trombone, and marching band, of course, in the 7th and 8th grade. I wanted to be a drummer, but my Mr. Hackett, my band teacher, said, I think you have good ears, so I need a trombone player. So there you have. And I had relatively long arms for my height. And so I could reach the 7th position. And then that's what I did. And then I think by the ninth grade, maybe. I think I was 14 when I started ninth grade. Of course, the Beatles had been on Ed Sullivan. Everybody wanted to start a band. I mean, in any small town, all the small towns in America, we all had bands. And my town was 12,000. And so some of the neighborhood boys wanted to start a band. And they asked me, since I played trombone, they figured that she plays something at least. And so I ended up, Ronnie was going to be, I wanted to be the drummer, of course. And there was no, Ronnie's going to be the drummer because his brother's got a drum set. So I ended up playing the organ, like my parents helped me get a little used Vox Jaguar.
Yeah.
And I just fumbled, and we were a true garage band. We fumbled around and listened to the records until we could somewhat play. And then we became a pretty good little top 40 band. Top 40 was good music back then. We played Creedence and Sly and the Family Stone, the Rolling Stones, and Janis Joplin, and Jefferson Airplane. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze at you.
Bless you.
We've got a huge, devastating fire over here on the Catalina Mountains, the Bighorn Fire. We've already lost 12,000 acres, 2,000 saguaros, and so there's a lot of particulates in the air. So I do apologize ahead of time if I have to sneeze. Right. Yeah. So anyway, that's how I got started, was playing in a little band, and so I learned kind of the bootstraps way, not I didn't have the professional training, or I went to college, but I've never taken a music class. I was a few years ago, I went to Pima Community College here and wanted to go to see if I could get in the music program. But even though I write songs and I have a band, I didn't have enough skill to get into the music program because I don't read well enough. And so anyway, it's funny how the circuitous way that life works, isn't it?
Yeah.
The meanders, the twists and turns. Yeah.
Yeah, our best laid plan usually takes us to a very magical place that we never dreamt of.
That's exactly right.
Or for me anyways, you think that, one decision is going to take you to a certain path, then it doesn't turn out that way at all. But for me, my personal experience is if I have allowed to discover the joy in that new path, then it's led me to some really amazing things. So I try to just go with the flow of life, and music, I think, is a good example of that, because you can just really, I think music is good for the soul personally. When there's certain songs, I was raised Catholic, and so there's still certain songs when I hear a Catholic song, or I go to a funeral, or to a wedding or something, and I just am bawling. it touches the soul to a certain spot, and then music can bring so much joy to people, and the community part of it. And so I know for you, so what do you think the biggest gift to music for yourself is, that you then extend to those listening to you?
Well, there's the components of music. It's like a full body experience when you think about it, because you can listen to a melody that can move you to tears and help you sense emotions that you really can't put into words, but you can feel them. And then you can also relate to the music in terms of rhythmically. I mean, you can start dancing or just nodding or moving. And then if you're having a rough day and you hear a song that makes you want to move, it's good for you. My wife Amy always talks about shaking as a way to relieve. Scientifically, there's scientific research about the importance of shaking to relieve stress, and essentially that's how I dance. I don't have any skills when it comes to dancing, but I shake well. I'm a good shaker, and I shake in time. So you have that aspect, and that doesn't even include the lyrics. And just, you were saying earlier, the country tradition is so rich with storytelling that's another aspect. As a songwriter, sometimes I have a tendency to write from the groove, and every now and again I'll tell a story, and the story will lead the way. So music's so multifaceted that way.
Yeah. So where does your inspiration come from when you're writing your songs? How do you get your best inspiration, I suppose?
Oh gosh, usually it's in the morning, and it's a gift. It just alights upon me, and it'll be either a pattern on the, if I go to the keyboard, might be a lyric that comes to mind, uh, or it could be every now and again a melody. But I just feel like it's a gift. Like I get a little nudge from the universe that says, I know that I can find you, mansion on. Where a little something will come into my head, or I wrote a song called "Carry My Heart in Your Back Pocket." You don't need the key, just let your love unlock it. That just came to me like boom. And sometimes it's a slog. Like you'll decide. Like I like to write birthday songs for folks that come to hear us play all the time, and they enjoy it so much. Their partners and friends will send me all this information. We'll put a little blues song together. That's a fun way to write. So there's lots of different ways, but the songs that strongest songs that I've ever written were gifts. They just came to me from. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And you start with that one phrase, and then you just kind of open up and try to let it sink in, and then you find new ways to kind of flesh out the whole song. It's always the bridge though that's the hardest. I mean, when you hear an artist like James Brown, you say, "Take it to the bridge." I mean, any songwriter you ever talk to, most of them will say that. I gotta find a bridge. That's the hard part. So.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And I think it's, most of us, whether we're artists or speakers or just in life, it usually is some type of download. If you're open to that, then you'll get your answers of whether you're trying to decide where to live in life or whatever it is. If you just open up to that guidance, then it's a much easier process.
Oh yeah.
And you know the difference. I know the difference when I'm trying really hard to do something versus just allowing it to flow through. So
exactly.
Allowing it to flow through is so much more fun.
Mm-hmm. It is. We get in.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's when I get out of my own way, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And I also like on your website that you say music is your why.
Yeah.
And I always encourage people to have that why that makes them cry, that just pulls at their heartstrings, because especially in the day and age that we live in now, I feel like I need just even a more heartfelt why to get up and face each day and to do what I'm put on this earth to do. And the beauty of it is we're all here to do different things, but again, it creates that nice groove and rhythm when we all kind of come together with all our gifts and talents and just do our part to make the world a little bit brighter, a better place.
Right.
Yeah. And I know through these interesting times of the last month, I mean, you are very well known in Tucson. Didn't you guys get some kind of award like 2018, 2019?
We were so fortunate to be voted by Tucson Weekly Readers, which is our weekly rag here in Tucson, as the best R&B band. And we were shocked. We don't ever take it for granted, and I'm so blessed to play with such fantastic musicians. I mean, we're a big family. We've got about 10 folks that come together and play in the Little House of Funk, and we've got a blues rendition. We've got the full Monty edition. We've got the like a smooth grooves edition. We've got a jazz edition. So we have a ball, and it helps us expand our repertoire, so we can play different songs. I mean, one of my favorite songs to sing with my jazz edition, or I should say our jazz edition, is Wichita Lineman.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Richard Katz, who plays piano, does a beautiful, beautiful arrangement of the Wichita Lineman, and I just love to sing it. It's he pays homage to the writer Jimmy Webb, because Jimmy Webb wrote that song on piano.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyway, I was thinking about you, Wichita Lineman.
Good. Very good. So, I mean, you guys normally play live locally
Yeah.
at venues. So, how have you guys transitioned into still getting to do what you love and bless people with your gift of music?
Well, we started as soon as it felt well, as soon as Tucson was actually had stricter guidelines, to prevent the spread of COVID than the state did, and so once the things started loosening up, we did a live stream at a friend's house, and everything, it was easy to do, and we had fun with it, and folks generously tipped us. So we thought, well, we can stream, and we've done, I think, 4 streams. And what I've noticed is that a lot of folks are streaming now, and I think folks are getting a little fatigued with being online so much, to tell you the
Yeah.
truth. So we're kind of backing away from that. Last night we were sponsored. We had a stream that was actually a private party, so it was a safe, socially distanced party. There was a few couples sitting 6 feet apart, and they enjoyed food, and we played for them and for the live stream, and they compensated us. So it was like a sponsored live stream. So we've done that twice. The other type of gig that we've done, we have a gig coming up on the 21st, on the summer solstice and Father's Day, and it's a hoot. It's with our smaller band, our blues band. I play cajon on that, and it's a curbside pickup. You pick your food up at the curbside, and you sit on your tailgate, and or you bring your little folding chairs, and you have a picnic and watch the band. And the tip jar is 20 feet away. So I mean, it is super safe distance, and it's out in the little town of Catalina. So we enjoy that. We've done that. This will be our 3rd time. So that's fun. And then in July, the Gaslight Music Hall here is doing a drive-in concert series, and they really know how to put on a show, big stage, lights, and they've been doing it a long time. So we're fortunate that we're part of that series. We were playing one version of our band or another was playing. We were playing anywhere from, I would say, the average of 4 times a week. Small venues to bigger venues, dance venues, restaurant venues. And so it was kind of a shock to go to just this. I mean, it's been a gift. It's been a gift. I've explored. In fact, I wanted to show you my little, this has been my songwriting tool for a while, but this is what I've been playing, doing little versions of tunes on my ukulele. A lot of times I do a song that a friend on Facebook will request, and I'll try my darndest to play it on this 4-string ukulele. I can't remember who asked me to play. Oh, my friend Kara asked me to play Metallica, a song by Metallica. So that's been my biggest challenge to date. I'm working on that right now. So that's been fun. It's been fun, and it's I think we've all. Oh, I wrote a song called House Arrest. I'd asked Facebook friends to send me pictures of what they've been up to when we've been quarantined.
Right.
And it's a fun little song, and I'm premiering that on YouTube on Thursday at noon Mountain Time, Arizona time, which is different than Mountain Time. But anyway, so that's fun, and I've written some new children's songs, and we've been doing a lot of bike riding and eating well. So it's really different. Definitely a more of a legato rhythm to life instead of the, what is it, presto. It was more presto before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there are ways to reach out is streaming and just sharing like just sharing a song every now and again, or a new song, or just staying connected to everyone. I like to share my experiences in nature. Like if I love saguaro cactuses. I'm so sad that we've lost so many. They have their own personalities, and so I'll find a kung fu fighter or or a stegosaurus, or what. You can find all kinds of different characters out there in the saguaro world, and it's just fun to just to share what you're doing with your friends and folks that used to come and see the band all the time. And we have a Little House of Funk Facebook page as well. And Mikey and I are the administrators, and he's great. He will post, community service opportunities that we can, hey, funksters, let's help out this group, or let's help out this, or highlight another artist, or that sort of thing. So we try to stay, as you mentioned before, connected. I mean, the importance of, because when you would come to one of our shows, I mean, it's a big love fest. It's all about dancing together in close proximity, and so this is a completely different way to communicate using the technology.
Yeah,
and
it's definitely an interesting way to still hold on to that community and that closeness, in different ways, because community, is something part of our soul. And most of us, even if you're an introvert, you still need that sense of community to be part of something. And so now we just have to be a little more creative. And I agree. I have found that the tempo of life has changed a little bit, but it has allowed me to explore some different areas of myself. And by the way, I've loved all the pictures of the cactuses that you have taken on your bike ride. So I'm like, what is she going to find today? So I love it. I mean, I know social media and all this Zooms and everything can be overwhelming, but it also can. There's always gifts and things. If you're looking for a gift, you'll find a gift. If you're looking for not a gift, then that's what you'll find as well. So it's just such a blessing to have people like yourself that understand that power of connection and community, and that, your whole band is still trying to find ways to be present for your community and honor the space and the time that we're in.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to bless us with a song, or?
Oh my gosh.
You can, or you don't have to, but it would, if you want to.
I'll sing you a couple little verses. Okay. This is a song off of my first album. It's called "Lady on the Bus," but the song I'm gonna play is a song about food and cowboys.
Yay!
And it's a story, and I know you love stories.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the. I was walking one morning, the sun was coming up. Along came this cowboy in a pickup truck. He said, "Honey, can I buy you something to eat? I want to see what you got on top of those big old feet." I said, "Baby, I'm kind of hungry. Why don't you open up the door? I'll jump right in so you can look a little bit more." Ooh. I'll do another verse for you. We headed down the highway. We pulled over at the Triple T. Oh, my, the highway chef was waving at me. We got seated at a table with a perfect view of a brand new 18-wheeler, Titanic faded blue. The waitress came over. She gave us a great big smile. And when she took my order, she said, "Girl, you know how to eat in style. Chorizo legs." I said, "Chorizo legs. I love chorizo legs. Chorizo legs. If you want to get love and these fine cougar legs, you're gonna have to buy me some chorizo eggs." Woo! So that's basically it. I'll sing half the song for you. How's that sound? Yeah.
Very good. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you would love the Triple T. If you come to town, we'll have to take you to the Triple T for the world's biggest slice of pie.
Oh.
Truck driver's breakfast. I mean, it's famous. And they used to have a big old Omar, the highway chef. I mean, that's still what they call it out front, but Omar's not there anymore. But the Triple T is like an iconic place here in Tucson.
All right. I'll definitely, when I come see my friend Debbie, we will call you guys and have the biggest slice of pie.
There you go.
Well, in closing, and again, I really appreciate you joining us tonight. But if someone has, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but I know you can handle this. But so someone that has like this yearning, this itching, this kind of dream inside of them that they're just maybe a little fearful of moving towards, what would you tell that person?
Well, I mean, it's fall 7 times and stand up 8. I mean, that old Chinese maxim. It's basically there's no way to grow without falling out of the tree. And I have fallen on my face so many times. It's a wonder I don't look like a Pekingese. And so it's so important to take those risks and trust that you get some pebbles in your elbows, you skin up your knees, get back up again and do it. And the thing with music is it's a very tough way to try to make a living. And if you're trying to write your own music, make sure that you can try to find a job that doesn't suck your soul out of you, so that you've got some time. A job that is kind of uplifting. So when you get home, you still have some time to write or create, or in the morning. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's a passion, and it's I've loved it. I've done it most of my life. I was not a musician at all in the military. I was a truck driver, and I worked on missile systems. That's it. But when I started singing again, I realized that we're never too old to express ourselves in some capacity. And music is one of those gifts that doesn't rely as much on your physicality as, let's say, dance or some of the competitive sports. So, I mean, it's a gift, and I look forward to learning. I mean, it's every day when I wake up, I want to fall in love with the world all over again. Why not? I mean, that's what it's all about, and like learn something new. Now, some days they're not all learning days, because our best selves are different on each day. But it is so much fun to just continually learn and continually challenge. I know I like to challenge myself, and physically it doesn't take a lot to do that anymore. But I really love trying to learn how to play Metallica on the ukulele is a good challenge. I highly suggest it for anyone that, would like to work on their tactile skills and anyway.
So that's great advice. And I like to stay curious in life. I think that helps you stay young at heart. And I am a firm believer that by you stepping out and showing that courage to learn new things, and by myself stepping out to learn new things, it gives someone else hope and courage, that if they're kind of sitting on the sidelines now, but they see others going out and trying new things, then it gives them that courage. So I believe we're all the answer to someone's prayers by just showing up as our best selves every day. So thank you, Connie, for being your best self and having that adventurous spirit and blessing us with your gift of music tonight, and just the gift of you. And you guys, I put her information up on the screen so you can find her on her Facebook page or on her website. And your website is beautiful, by the way. I don't know who did it, but
thank you.
I love it. I just kept going back to it because I was like, oh, it's just the words that are written on there are beautiful, and the pictures. And so I could just pick up on your spirit and energy, just from that. So again, thank you for being here tonight. And I will be back later this week, and you guys can catch more of Connie's music and beautiful pictures of her bike rides on her Facebook page. So that's all we have for the Go Big with Leanne show tonight, and we'll be back. Thanks for joining us.